Honey hunting gave way to tending and keeping the bees in some form of hive. The simplest hive was made by cutting a hole in a bee tree and making a door. The downside was this required climbing or ladders. Falling out of a tree with an angry mob of bees in hot pursuit was common. Hollowed out log hives, sometimes called a bee gum, and bee bowls, which are cavities or alcoves in a wall or a separate standing structure set against the wall to protect bees, provided more convenient access to bees and honey than climbing up into trees. Often the hollow log hives were still hung in trees, either because the beekeeper thought the bees had to have an elevated home, or to continue to use height above the ground as a way to protect hives and bees from predators. Eventually, the log hives gave way to other vessels in a wide array of styles, sizes, and materials. Wood, cane, reed, straw, pottery, clay, and even mud were used for beehives. The use of smoke to calm bees was discovered by most societies very early on. Firebrands, fire pans, and pots can be seen being used in many historical illustrations. Metalsmiths used bellows to blow smoke, and these were adopted by beekeepers. Moses Quimby, an early commercial beekeeper in the U.S., is given credit for the invention of the modern bee smoker in 1875. In 1855, Lorenzo Langstroth patented the prototypical removable frame beehive with a top opening. His hive design has become the standard for beekeeping in most parts of the world. The genius of Langstroth was not the movable frame. Others, especially in Europe, had designed and used beehives with various methods for removing and inspecting frames. Rather, it was Langstroth's discovery of bee space that set the standard. Bees tend to fill empty spaces with comb and to cement smaller spaces together with propolis. Langstroth discovered that a space of less than 3/8 inch, or about 1 centimeter, allowed bees to pass between combs and the walls of the hive. If the space was much less, the bees could not move about freely. If it was much wider, the bees would bridge the space, effectively sticking the combs to the walls of the hive and to each other. Langstroth's hive and Quimby smoker revolutionized bee management. Virtually all previous hive designs, such as the straw skep that was popular in the U.S. and Europe, required destruction of combs and often of the colony in order to harvest the honey, and they provided no means of readily inspecting combs for bee diseases. That problem persists to this day with alternative types of beehives such as top bar hives. They can be inspected, but only with difficulty. Langstroth made combs removable, and Quimby produced a safer smoker. With these two inventions, beekeepers stopped fighting bees to harvest honey. Rather, for the first time, they could truly work a hive with minimal disturbance to the bees and far less chance of being stung.